Welcome to Franchise Addicts, the podcast that's all about franchise movies. And now that we've gone to YouTube, I screw up our intro every single time. But today we're going to be talking about the fourth movie in the Evil Dead franchise. The first one not directed by Sam Raimi. This one's directed by Fede Alvarez, and it is technically a remake of the first Evil Dead movie. It is called Evil Dead, and it came out in 2013.
Do you want to introduce yourself to the people, Luke? I don't know if they know.
Oh, yeah, I screwed that part up, too. My name's Luke. You can see it on the screen.
Yeah.
But we do send this out audio only, so...
Yeah, people might be like, who is this? I have no idea who this guy is. He's Luke. I'm Chris, and yeah, welcome to the show. Got some special guests, of course.
The MCU's Bleeding Edge. We've got Andres, the pop culture guy. He's back on the show, second time appearance. And then also from the MCU's Bleeding Edge, Jeff. Welcome to the show, Jeff, for the first time. Light in a dart. Love it.
Most definitely. I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff runs a great channel over at the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We'll do some plugs on later, but I've been on his show to talk about Peacemaker. I believe you guys are covering Welcome to Derry coming up this week. Very exciting. So yeah, these guys are awesome on anything superhero related, MCU, DCU, and then kind of the spooky, fun, like comic book stuff on TV. You guys cover Walking Dead and all those types of stuff too.
Yeah, all the spin-offs. We just me and Jeff just finish up Daryl Dixon, which was awesome. But yeah, it was really exciting to talk a lot of horror stuff.
What were the last few creators still covering The Walking Dead?
Yeah, you and Bald Move.
Yeah.
They're still making content, obviously.
Yeah, they still are. They're still. It's still active.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it on the what is it? That channel? AMC.
AMC. Yep. It still is.
Keeping the lights on at AMC.
Got to do it. Something's doing it. I mean, The Walking Dead was such a successful from a monetary standpoint. Like that show kept Breaking Bad going, kept Mad Men.
Mad Men.
Yeah.
But do you think
keeping AMC Plus alive too? You know.
Yeah, their entire streaming channel. When I'm looking for movies to watch specifically for this channel, they're almost always on AMC Plus, or I can buy them on Amazon. I'm like, what have you done, AMC Plus? You've taken all these movies that people cover on podcasts and hid them behind a paywall.
AMC Plus is good. Yeah,
I'd be interested in knowing how did Amazon get the rights to everything? You know what I'm saying? Like on Prime, you know what I mean? Like, how did they work that out? You know what I mean? To where they have everything.
It is the craziest thing that like Netflix has this humongous library, but Amazon's just dwarfs it because you can rent anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, maybe it's different. Like if you're purchasing something, it's probably different than streaming rights.
It's got to be less to like have the overhead around and have the rights.
Yeah, it's very different from what Netflix does because, like Amazon, it's basically what YouTube renting the movies is similar to that, but like it's just that now Amazon is a big product thing, and now also half of it is also they bought MGM, and so like those other stuff is there. So
Warner Brothers definitely going up for sale, that is gonna.
Oh my God!
Insanity to the DCU and like all that stuff could just be vaporized.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. Oof.
So Jeff, what is your history? We've had Andres on for Evil Dead 2, so we kind of got his recap there. Do you like the older movies, or have you watched more?
I don't have any kind of history with the movies or anything like that. I mean, I've never reviewed any of them before in the past or anything like that. I just happen to like this one film specifically. And that's why I wanted to come on and do this one. Besides that, I'm not like a big, massive fan, to be honest with you, of the franchise. I've seen the other films, but they're just kind of whatever to me. You know, this is really for me the best one.
Did
For
you see
sure.
Rise?
Yeah, did you see the one we're going to cover next week?
No, I didn't see Rise.
You
You
would
probably
dig,
would like
you
that.
dig Rise.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
these are like a set, and everything that came before it, totally different set.
For sure.
Totally different objectives, everything. It's like it's just it's
I would imagine that if you're not a humongous fan of the first three films, that these two more modern horror films are gonna fit into your niche if you like horror movies way better. Just because they are like, at least to me, straight down the middle, 2010 and forward type horror movies. Like heavy gore, put some money into it, not a ton, but put enough money that it looks, glossy and new. And I don't know, get essentially no-name actors.
Did you look at this, or did you watch this? I know we haven't gotten into it, but then think of Romulus, Fede Alvarez,
Well,
remake.
you want to bring that up? So, Andres, you like Romulus, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Jeff, do you like Romulus?
Romulus cost like $150 million
Yeah.
to make.
Did you enjoy the movie though?
I mean, yeah, I like
Okay.
Romulus. I think it's a good movie.
Are you a Fede Alvarez guy? Do you like what's the
Don't Breathe
Silent,
Part 1
Don't
and
Breathe?
2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like
So
those?
so I know Fede Alvarez. So I like his work. I seen Don't Breathe. He only directed the first one, not the sequel. That's something else. I think he's a great horror director. He knows how to really like. If you really want, like, I think Luke, you brought up before about like horror. Like, if you're really into, slapstick horror comedy, or you're into the more dark and grounded, like blood and like gore blasts, this is what Freddy Alvarez is. Like, he really pushes the kind of dark and gory aspect of horror that you guys probably are not comfortable with. It's like, oh wow, you can do that, and you totally see that with Fede Alvarez in this remake, and in his other films like Alien Romulus and Don't Breathe. Don't Breathe is different, actually. It's not. It's
more tense related.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more tense.
That's an original script. And
Yeah, original script. Yeah, and so he's very diverse, and I do like Romulus. I mean, look, I don't want to get into the other Alien films. I think it's definitely top tier, mid tier Alien film. I think he really. Yeah, I know. Look, we had this discussion.
Hated it. But also, I mean, go on though.
We did do a fun 10 minutes at the top where I acted like I liked it.
Yeah, it's a mid tier. It's like the Force Awakens for aliens, and I get it. Yeah. I just appreciate they respected the the classic 1979.
So Chris, so we know your thoughts on the first three. Like you have an appreciation, but they're not your favorite horror type films. Mm-hmm. Is this more your speed when it comes to horror movies?
So like yes and no, because I feel like this one borders on torture porn at times, and I'm like, well, that's not my jam. But it is a more straightforward modern horror movie, and yes, I guess I feel like that's more like your standard horror. Like, this movie is actually scary, I would say. Like this and the other ones are like, yes, they're part of the horror genre, but they're like just the far camp side, which is fine. That's totally cool. There's a place for that, and those are fun. They're just, when I think of horror, I don't typically, like, my mind doesn't go to the super camp, but like, maybe that's a valid place in the genre. Yeah. I think the last thing to say about the Fede Alvarez is just that I found that this was so, because I had not seen it through that lens of like watching Romulus, because that's obviously pretty recent, but essentially it's like, let's take an idea. You all know and love Alien, right? You all know and love Evil Dead. Well, I'll make a more, like, I'm going to make a kind of a straight down the middle, tense, gory horror movie that obviously has that as the setting. And then like there's just like hitting those specific beats, like, hey, don't you remember when? Which I didn't mind that in this Evil Dead. I did not like it so much in the Alien because I thought it was a little over the top. Also, Luke and I had just finished watching, the first 7. Yeah. So, But yeah, I mean, it's definitely
It
like,
hits
oh, so
so
this
much
is what he does.
different than Prometheus and Covenant and those types of films. It's just it fits better in the Resurrection Alien 3 era of those movies than it does in this later, or at
Alien
least where the
3 is-
later one was headed. So Jeff, I was on what was it? What's the fucking third movie that Scream 3 with you, which is a horror type comedy slasher film. Is this version of Evil Dead more your type of horror movie?
Oh yeah, I mean, compared to Scream 3 is a terrible horror movie. There's no comparison. I mean, Scream 3 was tough to watch, to be honest with you, and uh, Evil Dead is nice, compact. It's only an hour and a half, watch time. You know what I'm saying? Which is nice.
Yeah.
It's not too long or anything like that. Like some movies can be sometimes, unfortunately. Like we just did The Life of David Gale the other night. That movie is really long. And it didn't have to be, but it is, and it kind of hurts the movie a little bit. I feel like this is like a lot more compact. Scream 3 is so long, and it's not even scary. Like the Scream films, just that type of horror just doesn't work for me. When you watch The Evil Dead, like there's parts of it where I almost like want to turn my head because of how intense the gore is, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that in my horror,
Well, we'll get into the scene by scene now because this movie just fucking drops you in the deep end, like right away.
Yeah, I forgot about the opening scene.
This opening scene is so intense and like, kind of ethereal, like very different stylistically, obviously, to what Raimi is doing in those first movies, where, it's a lot more, there's more light to it. It's not in the dark. This one starts off in the dark. Foggy woods, an unseen female character. We don't have our kind of resting point with Ash, who we know, at least in the second movie, is kind of going to be our guy. And so a girl's captured in the woods. We don't know if she's the victim yet. These people just grab her.
Assume she is, right?
Yeah, because she's beat up. She's got cuts on her and all that stuff. So she gets grabbed. She gets taken into this building. We don't know what it is yet. It's the cabin. And there's a crazy ceremony going on. There's an old witchy looking lady who's wrapping barbed wire around rats or whatever the fuck that nasty shit is in there.
Cats.
Cats. That's right.
A lot of cats.
And
warning for people, don't watch Evil Dead 2013.
Yeah, and so there's these group of people. They seem to know what they do, and then this old guy comes up. Boom, that's her dad. So what is going on? Why is her dad like tying her to this post and like seemingly torturing her? Well, it turns out that she's possessed by the Evil Dead spirit. She has killed her mom, her dad's wife, and that's how science works, guys. And
she fondly refers to her.
And we get it's the trick that Evil Dead plays over and over again. We get the transition from the normal person to the evil suck your soul demon, and that's how we kick off this movie. So Andreas, what was your thoughts on these first 5 to 10 minutes kicking us off into the remake of Evil Dead?
Wow, it's very surprising. So this is my first time like properly watch this film. I'm like a minor Evil Dead fan. I love the series, because Sam Raimi, he's a great director. I mean, I tell this before in Evil Dead 2, I grew up watching the Spider-Man trilogy, so I respect the Sam Raimi, and you have to remember back then, especially my age, this was the time when the studios were so crazy with the remakes of all the classic horrors, and none of them achieved the like critical and commercial success of those originals. You could never why remake them, except for 1 and 2. The Thing is the greatest remake, like fair or not. If you're gonna remake, you need to do it in like a different way. And right away, I mean, Freddy Alvarez just set you like it hooked you like right away of like, okay, what's going on here? And like I knew we're not gonna use Ash, so I was like, okay, what's going on here? And right about I appreciate that. Okay, they're like setting up the rules and the continuity that we know from the previous films, like what like they understand what is the Deadites and like the Book of the Dead. So like this beginning really shows that they care about the lore of the Book of the Dead and these creatures from the previous films. And like the fact that the when I saw the daughter, I was like, okay, there's gonna be the bait and switch that these creatures always do. I mean, like they always tease, they always taunt your victims because they just know how to like get through your mind and then just mind fuck you like instantly. And this scene was totally that, which I love. And honestly, this series is so inconsistent with continuity. Also, I have to bring up, so it was very intriguing that they brought this new lore about you can like fix yourself or like get rid of your like this curse of the Deadites. So that's a yeah yeah, and which is something we they don't like. It's always like kind of vague how you can get out of that like possession, which is weird. So the fact that this movie they delved into that more, it's kind of interesting, which we'll get into later on.
Yeah.
So
that we tumble off them trying to follow the first movie very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And just addressing Chris about this and comparing to Romulus. One of the things I like about this opening and the film in general, they don't push you hard with the like. They don't do the like crazy Easter egg or like pound you with the stuff you liked about the original trilogy. This movie is so like subtle about it. Where Romulus, I can understand where you guys coming from. I do.
Romulus is heavy-handed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more like, how about this and how about this? You remember this where they held the guns like this?
Oh wait,
Yeah.
we'll bring Ash back. Oh, but
Yeah.
we can't actually because the actor died. We'll do CGI.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally respect you guys about that because I do have some problems with that. I brought it up before. I don't like the idea of like bringing back Ash. So I appreciate that this film and the beginning of this, they don't do that. They keep it subtle, and it's like if you know it, you know it. It's like there was like we'll get into it. There was like one drawing where they did the like middle finger, and it's like if you know that from Evil Dead 2, where that like hand just middle finger at Ash, that's like a funny callback from that, and it's so subtle, and that's so good. Just do that, So I love this opening. It's really great. It's so haunting, and it just hooked you right away with this remake.
I love too like how they introduce a title in a film is one of my I think so important and can be done so artistically sometimes or just effectively. And here I'm just gonna say effectively. There's nothing really artistic per se, but just like cut to black, Evil Dead, and like kind of the eerie choral.
The music,
like you just like this is gonna like holy shit, let's go. We're strapped in. Yeah. So I think it sets the tone for what this film will be pretty well. And there's nothing funny. There's no one making jokes. So that's also it's kind of saying like, yep, that's not part of this anymore.
No.
Jeff, what were your feelings on the first 10 minutes or so?
Oh yeah, it's very very different and a very interesting way to start a horror movie. I mean, when that girl is walking down the road or whatever, she's actually like oozing, like she's like oozing like fluids and shit. You know what I mean? Like I love that touch, of her, like, she's like actually like bleeding and like, like oozing, like right down the street. And I love that, like adding that touch to her, like, being like, like that, like, beat up, almost, right. I like that. And the way they have her bound to that stake, with like wire and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, It's just
It's
like
very like hostile vibes.
hard.
If you ever
Yeah,
seen
Yeah,
those
which
movies.
is again, it's like, hey, which is that's a tough genre.
Yeah,
But
it's
but but, in fact,
hardcore.
but one that was very popular, and I'd say that stuff peaked like let's
Saw.
call it the torture porn genre peaked in the mid 2000s, right? Right, like Saw and whatnot, and Hostel, I believe like 2005 for
Yeah.
both of
Yeah.
those. I think Saw was 2004, Hostel 2005, and then you get a lot of things that are just kind of in the same vein, and that became the craze. I think we're kind of out of it, but not quite. And so yeah, it's going to be very intense and
Yeah.
more
I'm not.
realistic. Which eventually I think we get away from the realism a little bit, which I personally like. But it's certainly not not yet at all. It's going to be pretty real to life. And then what happens, Luke?
Well, then we have to set up the rest of the movie in that we have to have our teenagers that go into the woods. Now, they have to go into the woods for a specific reason. We don't exactly find what that is, but we get the couples driving their Jeep into the woods. We get to see it's kind of like The Shining. You get that cool, definitely shot from a helicopter overhead shot. You see the winding roads. You see how remote the cabin is. Whereas Raimi's not really able to do that.
Can't get a copter shot for like $350.
No, definitely not. But yeah, so that we get the first couple, our main guy, who's David,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
Doesn't matter really. None of these characters. Well,
David's girlfriend, who is a doctor. Put some respect on that. Fucking
Okay.
female doctors, Chris. That's great. Her name's Natalie. They meet up with another couple, Olivia, who's a nurse, and Eric, who, man, Eric is a fucking soldier. I'll say that much. That guy takes a fucking beating and keeps
Oh
going.
my god, yeah.
keeps licking and keeps on ticking. But he also starts all the shit, and it's all his fault. Correct?
He's
Yes,
super
sure.
shitty the entire movie. Yeah, and he's the one that does utter the words from the Book of the Dead.
Utters the words.
But so I have to get to the main reason why they are congregating at a cabin, because it can't just be like the first two movies where it's just like kids being kids.
Uh-huh.
Nope, it has to be trauma, and we have to get that in. So the Evil Dead manifestation has to be technically a manifestation of Mia, who is our main final girl. She is an addict of some sort. She pours some mysterious powder into a well and says, "I'm not doing this anymore." What that powder is, I do not know, because it is not explained any further. But we find that, is it heroin?
I mean, it's since it is. I mean, yes, it's like it's not like
considerable amount of heroin. I will say that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
that's like, yeah, considerable amount. But yeah, she's had some trouble. We find out because of the passing of her mom or whatever. But her friends and her brother have gathered to help her detox in this cabin that is their family cabin. And what do you guys think of this as the kind of overarching thing that has to be overcome by our main character? Jeff, let's start with you.
What overarching thing?
Just Mia's character in general. You just talk about Mia, who ends up being kind of our final girl. She's the addict and the first one that kind of smells the evilness in the cabin.
Oh, well, I mean, nothing's like I mean, at this point in the movie, like nothing's like supernatural has happened yet. I don't think, So I mean, I don't really know what I think about her as far as like, her being ending up being like the central force of like the supernatural, demon shit or whatever. I guess it's cool. I mean, like that they went in that direction. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else to say.
Yeah, I guess I stop here and ask for your reaction on that, mostly because this is a newer horror thing that our main person normally has trauma associated with them, and that is what the monster is standing in place for. Whereas the first 3 Evil Dead movies, they're just dumb kids. Something happens to
Yeah.
them. That's all that matters. All
You
that matters is just
symbolic
what's happening
demons back in my day.
on the page, on the screen. In 2013, we have to update it and give our main person trauma and make addiction and her overcoming the withdrawal symptoms and how that is manifested in the evil spirit of the Evil Dead and how it enacts pain and suffering on all of her loved ones around her while taking her over. As you guys can tell, I stopped here because I wanted to get on a bit of a pedestal and say how stupid this fucking premise is, and why, Fede, do you have to add this as this undertone to everything that apparently being an addict is so bad that it is equivocated to being possessed by a demon in the woods?
But why not?
Yeah, why not? Like,
Well,
no,
like,
I actually like the idea.
Is it heavy-handed? Is it on the nose? Do we need it? You could make the argument no and no and no. But like the other movies are like about nothing. I'll also say this is
I like that. I like that a horror movie is about nothing.
But I feel like we've gotten into the trauma horror thing has become a big thing post Hereditary. Hereditary came out in 2018. So this is way ahead of its time as far as trying to do that. Now, that not going to give it credit of being like, oh my god, brilliant. But like, it's fine. And if like, you know, to have some kind of symbolism that people can like, you know, point to and be like, like it's fine. And also, you know, he likes the whole like, you know, trying to establish some type of characterization, which again, like maybe that's not needed, maybe it's not successful, but like the brother and sister, and the mother and all that stuff, you know.
So I looked up what other horror movies came out in 2013. We have such titles as The Conjuring. The first Conjuring movie came out in 2013. That is trauma based.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I've loosely seen those, but I like never. Okay, go on.
We have The Purge, which I would say is heavily trauma based.
It's more political.
Like political, yeah. I think that was more like that was around that time too. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's those are the other bigger horror movies that made money that year, were The Purge and The Conjuring.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that I think It Follows comes out in
14, I think.
14.
14. Yeah.
And I hate It Follows for the same exact reason.
Fucking It Follows is great.
It's a public service announcement for premarital sex. It's
but
stupid.
Also like, okay, fine, but like it's unique, and it's, I mean, you know, like you can say I don't like my
great, it's unique. I don't like the message it's sending.
Not the message, but just the whole thing was done. I don't know. I think it was done well. And I don't care about I'm not walking away and being like, I'm going to show this to my kids and tell them this is why we don't have sex. Of course not. But like, it's
I'm going to show it to kids and be like, this is what dumb people think is like deep thinking and art.
Yeah, I feel like
that's a cynical view.
Yeah,
but that's fine. But I mean, like, I'm not thinking it's genius. I thought it was I enjoyed the horror movie aspect. And so it didn't offend me, right? But
I can move us on. I just wanted to get on my pedestal about that.
Well,
because it does color the rest of how I view this movie.
Yeah, I want to chip into that. Let's just before we move on. But like, no, I agree, Luke. I think it was both of you guys brought up really good points. I thought it was very underdeveloped, the whole addict thing. You could have done something more interesting with it in this film. Comparison of the next film we're going to review, Evil Dead Rise. One of the reasons I like that film is how they talked about, you know, becoming like, you know, motherhood, and like how that you need to take more responsibility, and like they did it such a way with the main character, the final girl in the next film, so well. Yeah. With this film, I like Jane Lately. She's a great actress. I think she's the good part about this film. But I think the themes and all that in this film about that is so undercooked, and I think they could have done more with it. You know?
Yeah, it goes back to a criticism I think that I could make of the Alien Earth TV show, in that I think there's a good TV show in there. I just don't think it should be related to Alien.
Correct.
Yeah.
If he,
Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
so if you wanted to make that show about AI and all that shit, just make that show. Just don't bring Alien into it.
That's the
I think
world
the
we
same
live in.
here. I think there's a good movie in this movie. It just doesn't have to be Evil Dead.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's
it doesn't
true.
affect- like it doesn't. I don't
It
think
offends
loses
me
like-
because Evil Dead Rise is really good, in my opinion.
Okay.
This movie like really let me down because I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I know the good version of this, and it's the next one.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
tend to agree with you.
Well,
but
and it's because they take it out of the setting, they go to a different location. Brilliant move. Now that I've
Yeah.
seen this, so this is my first time watching this movie, so these takes are fresh. It's not like I've been sitting on this,
Yeah.
but like that movie changes the setting. It's not as adherent to like doing anything related to the first trilogy type movies, and is just a
No.
gory, straightforward, just monster movie.
it gets
And I think
more
it
into
rips
humor,
because
too.
of that.
It's funnier. It has moments of slight humor.
Levity, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
it's more, it's even more modern than this movie in that like some of the stuff they're able to do with CGI and the camera work is way more advanced.
Well, and Chris brought up before, it's also too trendy as well. Like, you know, because he brought up the torture porn, which were still at that time. It just has a lot of like familiarity, you know, about the Evil Dead, where Rise is a much. It combines the best of both worlds from the movies. Do you like the you know, the campy horror, but it still keeps the dark and grounded first film in this movie, and it just matched it so well. You know, I feel like this movie struggles that a little bit, especially because, you know, this leans so hard, like being dark and grounded. It's like you need to have some levity or some humanity, you know. And sometimes it's, you know, I'm fine with it. I can handle dark and, you know, nihilism movie, but not everyone can handle that, you know.
Well,
I
thanks
thought
for
it was-
letting me do that, guys.
I just and as my perceptions go, I will just mention I didn't see any Evil Dead movies, and I saw this in theaters in 2013, and didn't see like the original Evil Dead for probably a few more years or whatever. Just so that's just maybe an interesting take. I feel like I might have been more like a Luke. If I loved the first three and I saw this, and I actually talked to someone that was the case. They loved the original. They said Evil Dead 2 is one of the best horror movies of all time. And I was like, what did you think of the remakes? Didn't like them at all. So if that's what you're shooting for, if you're like, that's my heart, then no, this
Yeah, it's just tough.
this pours hot piss all over what you wanted. Steaming hot piss, which we see in this movie as well.
So once we get through the backstory with our characters, figure out the addiction storyline that will be the through point. We then have to investigate the cabin, see what's going on here. So the kids disperse, do their thing. There's a stench coming up from the basement. David has to have a scene with Mia where he vows to not abandon her again because he abandoned her when their mom was dying. That wasn't good. There's a storm that occurs, and David sees that their bridge out of here, just like in the first couple movies, has been taken out and flooded. So they are stuck. They're landlocked in there. And then our boy Eric reads the Book of the Dead. That literally has "do not read" written in large font.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Also, probably... it has the word "motherfucker."
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so back in the days of the Necronomicon, that was a common phrase. Okay, like I guess so.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fun. You know, you cut through the thing, get a garbage bag over it. Fine. Like, and then
so the evil rises and starts
he
cutting
has the words.
Forest.
Kantu, right? That's the word that, you know, rises the dead. Yeah.
I only stop here because I made the note of like how many horror movies occur where saying something accidentally unleashes some horror that we don't want, right? I mean, this is, and obviously this is coming probably if we were like, well, this is like spells. It's tradition of spells and magic words, really. But
Yeah.
of course, I know, Luke, you didn't see the classic Beetlejuice, but you might be aware that if you say his name 3 times,
3 times. Yeah.
that's how he comes out. We've got Candyman, same thing.
5 times.
And I don't know, so just
Bloody Mary, which is like
Bloody
the
Mary, so-
originator of it all.
yeah.
Really? Bloody Mary? Huh.
You never did that as a kid or heard about that as a kid?
I heard about Bloody Mary, but I never knew that was like similar to Beetlejuice and Candyman. Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's like saying something, and if you say it 3 times, and I mean, they've all got the 3 times thing going. Obviously, Evil Dead is just a 1 time and you're good. But I just, just interesting because I think it's a kind of a nice trope. I mean, it's a trope at this point, but like that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, you said, and then we get our famous bat out of hell camera panning through the woods, which
Oh god, that was good.
our first like nod, like, hey guys, this is
Yeah.
Evil Dead.
So I'll get us through. So Mia runs out, tries to take the car to get back to safety. Then she is chased by the evil spirit through the woods. We get the tree scene, which has to now be in every Evil Dead movie, besides Army of Darkness. But it is in this definitely more tastefully done than it has been done previously. While still implying that she has been now possessed by said monster. She returns to the cabin. She's all clammy, gross looking. Looks like she's been rolling through the woods. They think it's because of her detoxes. Her friend also tells her brother, we've done this before where we brought her here. She's done the thing with the drugs. Then she tries to run away. This time we're going to make her stay, which is big shining light like, oh boy, now they're going to stay because of this when they really should have left.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Chris, get us kicked off with the initial possession, tree scene, all of this starting to kick off after the words were uttered.
So like it's doing what it needs to do as far as the forest scene. When I first saw this, again having no knowledge, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. It's the whole forest being alive and all that, and like the whole forest being an evil character. That's something that I had not seen before at this point. So that's nice. And then I mean, do we establish like, oh, they got to stay in kind of a on the nose cheesy way? Yeah, but again, like whatever, don't really care.
Well, and the fact that they can attribute all of the initial Mia sensing something's off, that they're just like, oh, that's detox symptoms. That's just detox.
That's maybe the one part that's more clever, because I mean,
Sure.
like that's something where it actually adds into the story, and it adds a false positive of, oh, she's on drugs. That's nice. That's an interesting turn. But then I mean, after that, we're gonna discard all that stuff.
Jeff, what did you think?
Where you need to go.
Yeah, Jeff, what did you think once the action starts to kick up? How did this movie get us back to kind of that energy from the first scene?
I mean, I like where they take the story with Mia. It's I mean, I'll say at the very least for this film that I do like the pace of it, and like I said before, like how compact it is. It gets right to the story. Even though it's kind of sloppy about doing it.
You get there, yeah.
Yeah, they get right into the good stuff right off the bat. I enjoyed this part of the film where Mia's kind of like not fully possessed yet. She's still like somewhat with it. I enjoy those scenes. Where she's begging her brother or whatever to take her out of there, or to leave or whatever. I enjoy all that, and then having her finally become possessed, I really enjoyed how they went about doing that, the scenes where they showed the actual like flipping the switch where they would the people would become possessed. You know, I really like those scenes and the way that they sounded. You know, and looked. You know, yeah. I mean, the like the demon like you know puking up like a slug that then like rapes Mia, you know, it's pretty creative, you know, and pretty vile, you know, you know, I mean, I'm all for it.
Andres, what do you think of the tree scene compared to our previous tree scenes?
Okay. So I mean,
How hot did you think it was?
I,
Scale of 1 to 10, where you like pause?
Okay, so oh god, I know what I say. Okay, like the first tree thing is like you give it a 0 out of 10 because that was just batshit crazy. This one I give it a 6 out of 10. At least, like I agree with Jeff that it was a creative idea. I mean, this is something that happens with alien films. It's like you see a parasite affects the host. Okay, I kind of like did that with the Evil Dead. I was surprised they actually went with that. Like I was surprised this remake did went with that, but I was like, no, it still fit with this movie because that was the trend. We're shocking everyone with the violence and all that. During this time, with Hostel and Saw, all that. So it wasn't like out of the place. At least it wasn't like mean spirited. It was like it made sense how like the Deadites affect your host and its soul very quickly. That's something I appreciate about this scene. Is you rarely like sometimes you see the Deadites like zoom like you see the perspective of them like going through the forest and then like all of a sudden they get the host. Here I like that we saw a different perspective, like, oh, there's this thing, like it will go and affect it, like, which we'll get into the next victims. Like I appreciate that you understand like how each of them gets affected. Because sometimes it's like even like in the trilogy it was so silly. Sometimes it was like a minor injury and like
or
like
sometimes even just out of nowhere they would just turn.
Like, oh, by the way, he's a demon now.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah, exactly.
This movie definitely turns it more into like a blood-borne pathogen.
A little body horror, right? With the
yeah.
More,
or 28 days later, like how the affected it like how the blood it like will affect you and you become the rage of the infection, so like at least I appreciate that, and so I did like that. I thought the direction was really good. I mean, Fede Alvarez does a good job like doing perspective shots, and this scene was really cool. But I have to say, the guy Eric, like, come on, dude. Look, you said before, like the freaking there's a sign saying don't read the fucking book.
Well, he doesn't even. There's no scene where he's like, should I?
Well, and it's like it's in a brown like paper, like it's wrapped. Like he literally had to he had to do all this work.
So maybe that actually, that's like shitty.
Maybe it incentivized him. He's like, I've gone this far.
Because like even like some of the like the other movies, like even the next one, like there was no warning about it. Well, I mean the videotape they did warn, but like this was so obvious a warning. It's like why you wanted to like just let me take a peek, and it's like no, when they say don't read it, like what you so dumb.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but I love the way the demon gets summoned in the next movie.
Yes, I know. I love that too.
It is both comically funny how stupid it is, but also like genius in that you could definitely see that character doing that.
Yeah. As Bane says before, it comes later. So definitely it will come later. We'll discuss that.
Yep. So let's. Go ahead, Andres. I was just going to take us to more of the killing, more than the mayhem.
Just wrapping up. Good scene. It is a very good addition to the film, and I like the new added addition how they did with the the possessed tree, from the original. So.
Yep. So Mia is having signs of possession. She boils water, scalds herself. Then we get the voice. Then we get first attack. So Mia attacks the group. Olivia's injured. Olivia tries to sedate Mia and get her under control. Olivia in the mirror in the bathroom. Olivia is overtaken. It mutilates her face. Then savagely attacks Eric with a shard of the mirror and the box cutter, stabbing Eric, which seems like a million times, but then only the one to his chest actually went through. I don't really know what was going on there. She definitely like stabs his glasses multiple times.
There's a lot of, it's a needle, it's the syringe. So I think we're
right. Yeah, and he gets it stuck under. That was super gross. The under his eye and pulling it out. I don't like eye stuff. And Eric ends her head with the back side of the toilet bowl, or the toilet itself. I do like, there's a nice little note when Eric tells David, and he is so shaken up by having to do that. He's like, I did something horrible. And like this, she was fully possessed, like full monster mode on him, like when he killed her. So like, he shouldn't feel that bad. But I do like him getting humanized, like as he's recounting everything, like getting patched up, literally dying and being like, oh my God, I just killed my friend. So Natalie then gets bit by Mia at some point, or she gets a bite on her. And Natalie's hand, then we get the ash with the possessed hand thing. Obviously not as funny. We get more of the idea of like it being in the blood, with her trying to push kind of the black venom out of her blood to preserve her hand. And because she's a doctor, she eventually realizes that it's traveling up her arm and takes off her arm with a, like, that looks like a turkey
saw.
Turkey slasher. Yeah, saw. Yeah.
Pretty gnarly. And so, yeah, we'll stop there. There's also a nail gun that gets brought into the picture, and we get some nail gun shooting and stuff like that. But this is kind of our big, before the final act, gore. Let's take down some of these outside characters and get to just having our final people that we actually care about at the end of this movie. Andres, we'll kick it off with you. This is our big gore part. What was your favorite stuff in here?
Oh man, it's a little tough. I guess the what's the character? Hold on, I'm sorry. Olivia's. I think it's definitely my favorite because it was very creative. Because before you see the kind of like the affection happen, the possession, like it's always the cliche like with the horror films or supernatural, like something will push so either the door or whatever that's open, and then like scares you with that. And then it was so creepy that the small mirror thing for the cabin mirror for the medicine closes, and then you see the reflection on her procession as like almost like she's having a what do you call it, a glass glow smile. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then the fact that it pays off when she mutilates her was like, whoa, very creepy. Her attacking Eric was really neat. And yeah, I agree. I mean, at first I was like, how the hell the needle doesn't break through? Like, well, first off, she didn't did this one hard thing, like smash the eye. It was like, oh, she's just like doing this like a typical knife thing, which was weird. Yeah. But man, it was really gruesome when she hit the chest, and then see him. Like, I agree, Luke. The thing, looking the eye right there was so gross. I was like, oh my god. And then yeah, I did appreciate that moment when he say, I what was it? What was the line? I murdered this person.
Yeah, he's like something along the lines of like I had to kill my friend or something like that.
Yeah. It's always weird how these horror movies, like, these people don't react as humans. I appreciate that this guy like look, I'm a person. I had to kill this one person I knew. And it's, like I feel really sorry for him. So I really like that human moment there. And yeah, and oh my god, and just like horror, you're always gonna have this horror stupid thing with the characters doing stupid thing because of the trick. You have to, right? And of course, Mia, the dead eye does the usual trick. It's like, I'm okay. I'm fired. Please help me. It's like, why you want to go down there? You know she's possessed or something like that. You have seen horror movies, right?
Don't go down there.
Yeah, exactly. Or like you have a phone.
Girls, don't go down there.
No, yeah, girl, don't go down there. And oh my god, I hate this. I hate this so much. Every time these characters run, and it's like, oh my god, I trip. And like when she destroyed the like what was it, the lake thing, and it's like, oh my god, come on, you kidding me? And then she gets slid back into the the basement, and I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And of course, she bites her, typical like zombie like infection, and I was like, oh my god, something's gonna happen to her hand, which is yeah, her cutting her arm. I heard that from my friends. It was like that was the not of the scene, which was it really was. But I was kind of disappointed that we didn't do anything with the arm doing like some like I don't want it to be Evil Dead 2. I wanted to see like it killing her. Like imagine her,
the arm attacking.
Yeah, the arm attacking in a very serious dark way. I don't know how you can take it seriously, but like you could have maybe pulled it off or something like that. I was kind of disappointed we didn't do anything with that hand possession, but her cutting it was like, oh, really, really great, crazy, and like just like the Evil Dead 2 and the movies, like the blood like just spills out, which is like I really appreciate they still do the crazy blood spouts, since Evil Dead 2, which is nice. And just wrapping up the, was it Mia? Not Mia. The girlfriend of Dave becoming possessed was kind of crazy, and her doing the nail gun, which is really brutal. Like that was kind of crazy. And then it was
Natalie.
Natalie, thank you. Yeah, Natalie being possessed was like crazy. Like I mean, poor Eric. Like him and out of those characters get so brutalized. Like
but like good, right? He started this whole mess.
I mean, that's true.
Eric.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Chris. Like, this is his fault, so I'm happy he's getting tortured.
He's like, I'm not reading a fucking instruction manual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm telling you as is. I'm reading this goddamn book about the dead and all that, But after Dave shot Natalie's arm, the right or left arm or whatever, and then she turns back her human form, was really creepy, and I was really sad. But yeah, overall, this sequence was the highlight of the film. I mean, we'll get into it. It's tough for me because I like the ending as well, but I think this was the highlight of the film, and I just thought that everything was creative, which is good. And I appreciate it was not a remake. That's one thing I like about the sequence. It didn't do the like the thing I hate about the remakes during the mid 2000s. They always tried to mimic the scene that's so iconic from your previous.
It tips the cap enough so that with the hand possession and stuff, but it doesn't recreate scenes. I think it does that very effectively. Jeff, what do you think of the main action thrust of this horror film?
It's highly entertaining. Hard to watch at times, right? That her taking off her arm scene is really fucking gory, like really gory,
You see it all, man.
Yeah,
go through that bone. Whoa.
Yeah, it's hardcore. I mean, that's really like some real shock value shit right there, right? I mean, all the possessions are great. I enjoy, like I already mentioned earlier, I enjoy the way that this director decided to handle the possessions of each character, going all the way to the end, of the film. I think it's really done in like a very menacingly, like evil, kind of way, the possessions,
Well, I think giving it a countdown too, because they read the other part from the book where it's like 5 need to be possessed for the ultimate thing to rise. Like, I think that's kind of cool too. You're like, oh, there's 5 characters here.
Yeah, most definitely. So yeah, the guy Eric does definitely take the most punishment without question. Like, I mean, he gets like really fucking like fucked up overall, you know. Getting shot with that nail gun, I can't imagine would be fun. Those were some big nails.
Yeah, dude.
You know.
Oh,
a lot of them too.
dude,
Yeah,
fucking under the collarbone. Oh, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine in real life. I mean, I wouldn't even want to imagine.
Can you imagine getting nailed to a wall with a nail gun? Ugh.
No.
You know who could?
Yeah. Well, I know.
No.
Sorry.
Those nails are huge. I can't imagine having to pull the nails out of you once they're in. You know. I can't imagine that. It was pretty scary when the one chick fell down in the basement or whatever, and Mia got a hold of her, and bit her or whatever. That was pretty fucking scary, I mean, honestly, like being down there in that basement was scary.
All the cats hanging up.
It seemed like it was really big too. The basement.
Well,
it was like
that's a carryover from the first movies where
it was like
really
it was huge.
Yeah.
It seemed like, what I'm saying, like, when you're jumping from seat and the one dude's getting tossed around, it feels like you're going from like room to room, almost. But so it's like huge. There's like water down there and everything, it's scary down there. You got the fucking dead cats hanging from the ceiling and shit, yeah.
I suspected the demon was a dog, but
named Grandpa.
No, just a dog in general, because dogs don't like cats, right? I don't know. Sorry.
I wanted to know, was that dog's name always Grandpa, or did they name it Grandpa after their grandpa died?
No, I think the name was always Grandpa.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you that.
That was cool. It was actually after Grandpa Simpson.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can see parents convincing their kids, like if their grandparent dies while they're young enough, and being like, "Oh yeah, Grandpa lives on and his dog."
And then Grandpa dies again.
Yeah.
And the dog's getting called Grandpa, and its name's like Fido or something. He's like, "Why the fuck do these monsters keep calling me?"
Grandpa got savagely killed with a hammer.
Yeah. Oh my god, that. I didn't need that like flashback of like Mia bashing the dog's head. I was like, what the hell? And I can't believe they killed a dog.
Bad stuff for animal lovers.
Not anymore. Not in 2025. You're not doing that.
Yeah,
no.
In 2025, the dog is the perspective watching the horror movie going on. See Good Boy.
Good Boy, yeah. Oh my god, I can't believe we made that.
So, Chris, your thoughts? You haven't given your thoughts on this.
Yes, real quick, and then I actually unfortunately have to go help some kids finish homework before bed, so I might have to.
We'll get your rating before you leave.
So, but what I really want, I just want to say that like this is when the movie does what it wants to do, right? This is like the whole thing is a lead up, and it's fine, and there's some like the addiction talk, but it's like, okay, now we're going to do this is like the Fede Alvarez cover song, like, right? Like this, I'm going to cover Evil Dead, but I'm going to like play it in my style, which means actually it's this type of horror movie. It's some supernatural. I mean, there's tension used effectively. The trope of the mirror and stuff, like it's done well. And it's like that you're gonna cook, so you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the woman sawing her arm off. You're gonna get the infection going all over her, and it's very gross, scary, and attention getting. Like you're locked in at that point, and you're shocked, really. So I think obviously that's when this movie's doing what it wants to, and of course and then sometimes winking and being like, oh, but a chainsaw, right? And we've got the only other thing that I got that really happened that was a callback, I thought, was the shooting blood. You've got the shooting blood vomit, and then later we've got more over the top, just like turn on the plot.
Literally raining blood.
Yeah.
In the final minutes.
Which cool. I like that's how if it's different than any horror movie, and if it's different for any horror movie and has to be Evil Dead, then those choices are cool. Obviously, they're kind of random in what otherwise would be more of a down the middle torture porn demon film. But like that's cool. You want to like do a little Evil Dead cover. And yeah, so I mean I like it. I like this film. But I also realized that I saw it first and that I didn't really understand what the Evil Dead was about when I saw this film. I was like, oh, this is a cool horror movie, and it's got some like weird over the top things sometimes. And when it does that, like I think when Natalie turns around and Natalie's still coming with her arm off and stuff like that, it's we've lost. We're not in reality anymore, and it's better when it does that because like yeah, let's be gross and over the top. I believe Evil Dead Rise does a lot of this, where it's just like
Yeah.
this is clearly this is not rooted in reality. It's really gross and crazy, but also like this is a farce. Like this is not this is so. I'm gonna give it a 7.3, and I'm gonna give my I'll give my like MVP to Fede Alvarez because this is what he does. He does cover versions of popular horror franchises. What maybe next he'll do Halloween.
Halloween.
Or, like, Texas, I like, but that's cool. Like that's his jam, and like he's made a space for himself from Uruguay, I believe. Like
The Noah Hawley of movies.
yeah, and so like yeah, exactly. Like great. Like there's a space for that. We need this, and he's not doing it horribly because we've seen people do it like awfully. And I know Luke, you'll be like, I disagree. And I'm excited to listen to your take. And I get it. Like if you're a purist, like this is not it. This is trying to do something else, and fuck this. Fine, totally. But I enjoyed it. So that's my take. Yeah, sorry. I will listen. I'll listen to your answers offline. I'll take my answers offline. But no, it's awesome to jump on with you guys, with Andres, Jeff, and of course Luke. We'll listen to everything after and look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no, Chris, it was an honor to meet you, sir.
Vanda, is that it? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Conda. That's it.
Anaconda, also a remake that's coming out. Let's see how that guy puts his stamp on Anaconda. That's for another time, guys. All right, peace.
Bye.
Thanks, Chris. I'll get us to the end of the movie here. So David has a choice to make. It seems that Mia is the kind of epicenter where all of this evil is coming from. Kill the host, kill the disease, kill what's going on. So David has tried to burn her. He's tried to dismember her. That's not working. So he decides to bury her alive and does that. He does kill her, and then there's a weird part where he then defibrillates her using 2 syringes tied to a car battery, and she comes back alive without the evil inside of her anymore. David then goes back into the house for one last look to pour some gasoline and burn the shit down, or whatever he was planning on doing. He has to grab the picture off the wall of all the friends together so that they can remember before they were all turned into evil monsters and had to kill each other. And then Eric reanimates and stabs David in the jugular with a pair of it looked like wire cutters.
Yeah.
And David is dying from his wounds. Mia tries to rush in and save him. He tells her to get out of there. Eric gets closer and closer to David as he's about to take him out. David, in his last effort, shoots with the shotgun the canister of gas, and the cabin goes up in flames. And then it starts raining blood, and Mia has to deal with all that sort of stuff. And eventually walks down the road, traumatized but alive, as she has defeated the evil dead.
Yeah, and unaware that the book is still active.
Yep, and the book can't be burned in this one.
Oh, so it was this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeff, what did you think about the ending of Evil Dead?
It's pretty elaborate, you know. I mean, I like the use of her doppelganger, you know, demon character, you know, from the beginning of the movie, from earlier in the movie, you know. I like that being like the final, you know, like villain, you know, or whatever of the film.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the manifestation of like the demon or whatever, you know, like, you know, like because of the 5 deaths being, you know, achieved or whatever, you know. I like that, you know. The scene where she's like hiding in the closet or whatever, and the demon Mia starts to like punch through the fucking like the walls with the big ass machete, you know.
Oh no,
Uh,
that's the demon girl that's chasing after Mia.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good
Yeah,
scene, you know.
that's good stuff. Well,
It's a,
especially because Mia has to like crawl in the tunnel, that dirt tunnel, to get up to that shed, and the Evil Dead monsters like following. Like that is super creepy.
It is pretty creepy, yeah. And that cave she went was really creepy.
Yeah,
You know, like I would not have wanted to go. I would not have gone in that cave. You know, like there's no way that anything good is going to happen in there. You know, uh, I mean, like honestly. So that was a bad move. You know, yeah. I mean, did they have to like, you know, have her lose her fucking arm? You know, like in the end, did they really have to add that in there? You know, like couldn't she walk away like unscathed? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
they
Like,
didn't
you
have to
know,
do the Ash homage.
but they were, you know, they went all the way, you know, with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I mean, I don't know, you know, it added to the gore, you know, and you know, all that, you know, like the situation was really like at this cabin was really fucked up. Like you can't even walk away from this shit without like losing your fucking arm or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy this shit was. You know, how
Yeah.
like dangerous to hang out in this cabin was. You know what I'm saying? Some dangerous fucking shit, bro. You know?
Yeah, it's a not a place you want to bring your friends.
The possessed Eric was fucking scary. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
dude.
Like the way he was moving and shit, like with like you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like he was floating on air almost, like his legs weren't even moving, you know, like the fuck was scary.
Andres, what do you think of the ending of this? All working for you?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, it was. I mean, hey, I mean, it was a good Evil Dead ending. There's nothing, you know, to say about it. Yeah, I do agree with Jeff, and I was like, oh, okay, like got her hand tuck off. Like, why?
That was really gross too. Because
Yeah,
they showed all of that too, like the bone splintering
yeah,
and like the skin ripping off. Like,
yeah. I was like very shocked about that. Um, it was a cool moment when she was just gonna go the machete, and then she saw the chainsaw. I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna do that moment.
yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Dave dying. I thought he was a really good character in the film. Like he was trying his best to like help his sister, and he did listen to his friends. Like he was a good leader, you know, for the most part. And
I wish that actor was good at all.
yeah,
He does not sell it enough, in my opinion.
yeah. I that's another underdeveloped thing about this movie is that whole sister and brother relationship. I feel like they could have done more with that, but you know what we got, you know, it was decent, whatever. Yeah, I like the touch of the blood rain. That was really cool. I thought that was a good horror thing. And yeah, the Eric possession was really creepy. I mean, that poor guy got like got demolished by all these like various like stabs and all that, or like just hurt for his body, and then just get rised up. I was like, oh man, this poor guy just cannot get a break. And yeah, I totally forgot about the gasoline thing because he was supposed to do that first, but then he got the opportunity to get his sister out of the dirt.
Do you know what's a weird trope in movies that I don't understand? When they're putting the gasoline on stuff, why don't they ever take like the stopper part out and just pour it like you normally could if you take the cap fully off of a thing of gasoline? Also, you need 2 holes to be open. So if you've ever filled a like lawnmower with gas and you try just opening the front part and pouring it, it doesn't work. You need to open the back part to have the air flow through. And so that's just my cat.
No.
And he likes when I talk about movies.
I'm happy.
But yeah, like it's weird that it always glubs out in movies and it never just pours.
I agree. It's also inconsistent sometimes. Like sometimes the bad guys or good guys like take out the thing and you see like splash a lot. And then there's sometimes they do it like little. I was like, what the hell? That's not how it works.
Jeff, how much of that chainsaw gas did she actually get in there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, but, was that a gas chainsaw? Because I mean, I don't know.
It was, because she looks at the fuel gauge on it and it says empty.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Like one of the one kind of like half. It's not really even funny. It's literally just put in so the audience knows that it's out of gas, and she also has to fill it with gas.
Fill with gas, yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, I think there's parts about the ending that work for me. I think the raining blood is fairly cool. I haven't really seen that done effectively in another movie, and I think it's done effectively here. I think the shocking her back alive is so stupid.
Yeah, that was pretty far out.
That was too dumb. I was like, wait, what he's doing? And like I saw the like power battery, and then he was using the thing. I was like, what the hell?
But so it runs into like I get it. She's a sibling, so it's even more than a friend that losing her and her dying is like really bad for David. Like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you would go to lengths that you would not go to for your friends to get them alive again. But I mean, the 2 syringes, like whatever, dude, like that. It got too weird too fast. They could have just done what the old movies did and just had her like, well, I died and he dug me back up after I technically died, but
or I don't like this. This is something that's been traditionally like awful in horror movies, is the jump scare. You could have done like he just rests himself in the ground and then all of a sudden she pops up in the ground and he's like, oh my god, like she came back maybe a dead eye, but no, she got cured.
Yeah.
You know, you could have done that. I thought they were going to do that, but then when he pulled her up and then did I was like, what? I don't know. Like, I just wish he read the book and like make that consistent. You know, like, and then it's like, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think the ending is I think that weakens the ending, but I think the ending overall is pretty solid.
Yeah.
The original trilogies, if I were to levy a criticism towards them, would be that they are so focused on keeping it fun and keeping it goofy that sometimes those scenes go on a little bit too long. In this movie, because it's so gory and brutal, they're getting in and out. Like Jeff was saying, like this movie just moves on to the next thing. We don't have to dwell on it. Whereas because like Evil Dead 2 is a comedy, like the bits just kind of keep going with the hand. Like you're like, hey, I'm having fun, laughing along with this hand bit. Let's just keep doing it. And that goes on for 10 minutes. Whereas in this movie, her hand gets possessed. She immediately realizes she has to cut it off. She cuts it off. The hand doesn't come back alive. We're just moving on. So I think this movie can take some credit in that it doesn't dwell on stuff it shouldn't.
Yeah. I agree that.
Any other thoughts, Jeff, on just the movie in general that you haven't touched on?
I mean,
we'll give our closing thoughts on the movie.
The scenes with the chick with the crowbar were really brutal.
Yeah.
I just want to point that out. Like that, those were some brutal scenes. The hitting the dudes with the crowbar scenes. Those were some rough fucking scenes, man. Like you can get a crowbar that big can really fuck you up, like legit, I thought that was hardcore. Like, her where that crowbar came from, I have no idea, but that shit was hardcore. Uh, um, what did they do with that chick? What did he do with that chick once he blew her arm off? What did he do how did he kill her?
That's it. She just died because she already sustained the injuries.
She just died, huh?
Yeah, that's what happened.
They play a little bit fast and loose with who gets like resurrected and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
she's just dead.
Yeah, because Eric was resurrected,
He's the only one that
he died and came back to life.
As a deadite, yeah. And then Mia obviously comes back as a human again.
Yeah, that's really all I got.
Andres?
Yeah, so I was thinking with the ending, like, I thought it was decent, but the thing that I like the final boss of the creature, that's the, was it the Taker of Souls?
Yeah.
Which I didn't understood that. That's maybe my biggest criticism, is that they rushed this ending so much that you don't take in some of like what the hell was going on, because I was
the differences and stuff that they're actually adding to it.
Yeah, like this the Taker of Soul rise as this mix of man and woman, because at first I was like, I thought that was a woman, but then when we saw the top part, it was like almost like a mannequin kind of creature. I was like, oh, and I was like, it just like, because I was this is my first
takes on both the form of a man and a woman.
Yeah, and so, and I didn't understand the concept that every time her friends and the brother were getting taken, it was just that's how the Taker of Soul was gonna rise up. I felt like that's something we haven't done before in Evil Dead. They could have maybe done more of that, and and explain that a bit more and build up to the ending, because I like that like new concept, but the fact that they didn't spend any time or build up to it was like kind of disappointing. And
I would think that Fede, in trying to remake this, felt that an hour and a half was essential, because all three of those first movies are an hour and a half or less. And I think he felt that if he did longer than that, it would not be good. But he definitely put enough stuff in the movie that you could have added, and I hardly ever say this, added maybe 10 minutes to flesh it out a little bit.
Yeah. Or for me, it's like, if you're going to do that, like, just say that, like, the main Deadite that was taking their souls was the Taker of Souls. Like, that could have been different, because a lot of times with the Evil Dead and even the next film, it never say like it was this one particular demon,
it's always just you open the Book of Dead to release whatever it's going to release.
Exactly.
This is super duper specific, and like a specific incantation for the specific demon, and that's what's going on. And we're adding numbers to it, so 5 needs to happen, and then whatever. But let's give our ratings and any just final thoughts of the movie overall. We'll start with you, Andres.
Oh, sure. So this is going to be surprising for everyone. I think I will rate this a 8 out of 10. I thought this was a, like, I don't know how you guys, for me, I seen a lot of the couple of horror remakes, especially the awful Nightmare on Elm Street. This was surprisingly a good remake. I agree with Luke or Chris, one of you guys brought up before, like this, like the concept of what Freddy Alvarez is a really good original idea, but it doesn't have to be an Evil Dead. But for a remake, I gotta say this was a decent remake. It didn't like it's not like Alien Romulus or like one of those like awful like force your face at the Easter eggs for you. It does its own thing. It respects the previous films. They will give you that in a very subtle way. I appreciate that. I don't mind the characters. They're just bland, typical characters you've seen before. But the performances keep it average and middle than some other films we've seen before. And I thought the gore and the special effects were really good. They were nice. They were like top notch, and I like that because sometimes these horror movies are so CGI for no reason.
Yeah.
I appreciate the practical things. Yeah, it's the better remakes of the bunch. I will highly recommend it. Don't watch the other remakes of the horror films mid 2000s. Probably watch this. This is much better than those. So that's my thoughts on this movie.
All right, Jeff, on to you.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. I think it's a really solid, like really tight horror movie. That's very entertaining and pretty gory. Overall. So especially for 2013. Really fucking gory. Yeah, I mean, good watch. Enjoyable film.
Love it. So we got an 8 from Andres. We got a 9 from Jeff. Chris gave it like a 7.2 or whatever.
3.
3. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5.1. I really don't like this movie. I got to play the host on this episode, so I didn't really have to get into all my dislikes of it. I do think this movie looks pretty fantastic. Fede is a talented filmmaker. Don't get me wrong. Like Romulus, there is some stuff in there that like he's maybe one of 3 directors that could have pulled that shit off. I just think it's stupid. I think the people that he gets to do his writing, I think the way that he's willing to just not delve any farther into things that are interesting in his movies is kind of annoying. He likes presenting interesting ideas, but then doing nothing with them. See Alien Romulus. And so this movie kind of scratches the wrong itch for me. I just really, like Chris said, I'm affectionate towards the first 3 films, especially the first 2. And not having Bruce Campbell, having enough of the Easter eggs and winks and nods to those movies, just it bugged me. And some of the change to the lore bugged me. And I'm going to sound like a massive hypocrite on our next episode because I'm going to talk about how much I like Evil Dead Rise.
Same here.
It has a lot of the same stuff that I'm criticizing about this film. But for some reason, I watched this film for the first time. I didn't like it. I thought some of the stuff with the addiction having to be a part of the story, and then literally anything else that's thrown in that doesn't necessarily matter. Like the mom thing doesn't matter. The brother sister thing doesn't matter. You could have just made them friends or whatever. It doesn't. None of that matters. But guys, I want to go back to this first scene. This first scene rules. It's like one of the best scenes in any Evil Dead movie.
Yeah,
And,
I know.
It's kind of like, when you're watching the Blair Witch Project, what you think the end of the Blair Witch Project is going to be. Obviously, the Blair Witch is doing its own thing, but like this is like the idea, like the under the mask getting taken in, and then all of a sudden there's this ritual going on, and there's creepy people with facial deformities, and you don't know what's going on, and who's this old witch, and oh my god, it's her dad, and like why are they hanging these cats? Why is she strapped with barbed wire? Like all that stuff is so cool. And then to just kind of have the rest of the movie be a shitty remake, I thought it sucked.
Yeah.
But there's a fantastic couple minutes in this movie, and for a remake, what more could you ask?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Luke. It's just that Evil Dead Rise just took its time and developed its characters more. That like I care about them. Like
I think it's largely because they changed the setting. Like I just think having it in a high-rise apartment with the underground parking thing is so brilliant.
That's true. No, that's a good point. But I think they could have made a good remake with the cabin again, with different like ways. Like Final Destination Bloodlines came out this year. I love that movie. What that worked was it combined the best things about that franchise and like made it into a very unique new film with the tropes that we know about that film. Like you brought up the opening. That opening is the greatest. but it doesn't. It connects to the story that we're telling. I think if they could have done something with that opening you're talking about with this movie, and connected it, I think it could have made this movie better. But because it just like it just set up like the rules and all that for this new remake, and then we're just like bam bam bam, just did the traditional like cabin in the woods.
Well, couldn't they? Well, I don't want to rewrite this movie, but you could have done it where maybe it's like their great grandparents or maybe even their grandparents, where like kind of what they did in the first movies, where the professor has to kill his wife.
Yeah.
Like you could have had it in the first scene where the girl that's, obviously turns into a demon later on is his wife, and those two people are connected to the kids that then come into the cabin. They chose not to do that for whatever reason, and I think the movie suffers because of it.
Yeah, I agree. Or they could have done something where this could have been interesting. It was maybe the demon like tricked them to go to the cabin, like similar to Cabin in the Woods, where there was a more
now we're getting into elite territory, Andres.
Yeah, I know.
That's elite tier horror movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying like do something where the demons actually trick your protagonist, because that's something we haven't done with the Evil Dead. These creatures are smart. They're well self-aware.
Yeah, they want to get out.
Yeah, they want to get out, and so you could have done something where, with that opening, you could say that the demon died, but now he wants a new body to like take over, and so he tricked these people that are related to these people, and then that's how we like could have done it with the movie, But what we got, fortunately.
There you go, guys. Evil Dead 2013, brought to us by Fede Alvarez. Thanks to the MCU Bleeding Edge guys. Jeff, what do you got going on the channel coming up?
Like you already mentioned earlier, that we're doing that Welcome to Derry show Wednesday night.
Awesome. Talk to me about getting on that. I will stay up to date on it. Andres, you got big plans coming up. You've been telling me about them.
Yes. So I want to, I should reveal them now, not to go too crazy, but so wrapping up my Halloween content, for Friday for Halloween. So you can expect my Day of the Dead 40th anniversary tribute, but also the Reanimator stuff. So Thursday we're gonna get a live stream review on that film, the Reanimator from Jeffrey Combs and directed by Stuart Gordon. Great classic film, love that. And Luke is coming there, so that's awesome. And hopefully Jeff will come as well. And then November, I got a big plan. I'm gonna do a 3 live stream review, different weeks on a Bond film. There's gonna be Bond Mania. I'm gonna do for November, to talk about the major James Bond films that have their big milestone this year. And I'm talking to a couple of guest panelists that I have interacted with the MCU Bleeding Edge channel for like these last 3 years. So Luke, I already talked to, and Chris, they will let me know which panel they want to join, and then we'll go from there. And then pretty much set for November. So that's my plan for November. Just do Bond Mania, which will be good, fun.
Awesome. Yeah. So I just wanted to give a quick thanks to Jeff in particular. He's the first guy that ever reached out to me to collab on stuff. So that's a huge milestone for our particular channel. Jeff also hinted that we should maybe get into YouTube, because I think the first time I showed up on your channel, we were just audio only. So I want to say a shout out to Jeff. Brought me into this world. Love it. You guys are the best. I've been trying to tune into your guys' streams when I'm not on them, and contribute where I can. But these guys are the best for all of you out there listening. Check out all their stuff. If you're watching any of those MCU TV shows, even go into these guys' back catalog if you're catching up on stuff. Great recaps. You get good, most of the time positive reviews of the stuff, sometimes negative if it's bad. But it's a good way to catch up with some friends about stuff that you're watching that maybe your friends in real life aren't watching and it's nice to be able to have these guys to listen to and talk with about all of our favorite stuff. Thanks again, guys. This is awesome. Glad that you guys are willing to do this. Jump on, talk about a stupid horror movie at the drop of a hat.
No doubt, brother. It's a fun experience.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be coming back next week for Evil Dead Rise. Currently, it's just me and Chris on that. Or Andres, are you coming back on for that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Andres is coming back on for that. I knew we had him double booked. So Andres is going to come on. He loves Evil Dead Rise. He's already teased that. I love it too. And Chris also loves it. So it's going to be a big love fest. We'll finally all have a horror movie that we like all at the same time.
Yeah.
That is going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see you guys next week at around the same time.